So, hello YouTube, hello the internet. I am making this video, and I was requested to make this video by a few individual, and this was in response to Kyle Gott's video on vehicle maintenance, or mission generation vehicular maintenance technician. Nothing against him. It's probably because he couldn't find people to make this video for him. He probably was rushed to do it. So I'm making this. Maybe I could help answer things that the individual in his video might not, and at least you can have the face-to-face interaction. My rank when I was in the United States Air Force was the staff sergeant. I was an E5 when I separated, so hence the beard. My AFSC is 2T3X1. The name for it is Mission Generation Vehicular Equipment Maintenance Technician. I don't know who created the name for us. I don't know that we generate missions or anything. The more common name is vehicle maintenance. That used to be the old name for us. I think someone was tasked to create a name for us, and I think they want to put it on their EPR, enlisted performance report, that they did something cool. This AFSC, or this career field, so for a civilian who doesn't understand, AFSC it's a code for the career field that you're doing. With vehicle maintenance, well, what I generally do is that I'm just a mechanic. Mainly I'm an Air Force mechanic, and of course there's a few different things that we do in the Air Force versus in civilian. We work on military vehicle instead of your regular sedans or what. Although we do still work on cars such as sedans, because some commander on base get an Air Force vehicle so they could do their job, and we work on those. The type of vehicle I work on are Humvees, armor and unarmored. I work on MRAPs. This really big, like it's kind of like a truck that transport people, and it's supposed to be resistant to mine or to missiles or to bullets. We also work on things that people might not think that we would work on. Snow broom, which is what they use on the runway. They use these huge snow broom. They're about a size of a two-story building, and they would clean the airway so planes can take off and land. We also work on salt trucks, water trucks, de-icers, and these are just to name a few. We of course work on way more than that. Vehicle maintenance has 3 shreds, and to explain the shreds, in the Air Force term, shreds are different branches of the same career field. So mine is just general. I don't have anything at the end of my code, so it's 2T3X1, and then there's nothing at the end. For other people, these special shreds, and there are 2 extra shred in vehicle maintenance. There's the A shred and the C shred. The A shred, people who work on fire trucks and refuelers, they generally get put on a different shop, but they still fall under our shop. And then there's C shreds, which they work on more of the K loader. The K loader, they would take your suitcase over to the aircraft. It has like a little conveyor belt that lift up the cargo or whatever suitcase you have, and they just kind of load it onto the aircraft. Help the loading process, especially if you have to load heavy equipments or heavy cargoes. I do not work on fire trucks, and I do not work on K loaders, but I have worked with them before, and I have been to their shops. So if you have any questions, you just be sure to comment below if you get one of those shreds, and I can try to explain a little bit more. So the tech school for entire career field, including the 2 other shreds, is in Port Hueneme, California. It would take around 4 months to graduate. It depends on your shred, but it's generally 4 months. If you are in one of the special shreds, you might graduate a week earlier, or you might graduate 2 weeks after. It depends on if you're on A shred or C shred. But this is something I would like to emphasize to everyone that keep asking me where the tech school is. The tech school is only 4 months of your life, right? And basic training is only 2 months of your life. So training wise, that's only 6 months of your life versus 4 or 6 years you have in the Air Force. So don't be contemplating or worrying about where this tech school is and how great the tech school is, because doesn't really matter in the end. That's only a short time. What really matters is where you go and how good the environment is in your job and what your job entails. So don't worry about tech school. It doesn't mean anything. It's 6 months. Oh, 4 months, my bad. 4 months plus 2 months with basics, so it's 6 months training. So don't worry about that. So with the A shred, like I said, you work on fire trucks and refueling. So what fire trucks are, of course, you know what I'm talking about. The big, fire hydrant, the moving fire hydrant or whatever. The but the Air Force has different kinds of fire trucks. I'm not going to break down the names because you guys are not going to remember what it is. There is fire trucks that's especially made to take out fire in a building. There's a fire truck that is specially made to take out fire in an aircraft. And there's fire truck that's specially made to take out fire in different kind of environments. There's multiple kind of fire truck that the A shred would work on. And A shred also work on refuelers. Refuelers are what fuels the airplane, right? There's no gas station that the airplane would pull up to and they would just put a hose to it. Planes or fuel are these big tanker trucks, and they have fuels in them, and they're very special to deal with because they're dealing with fuel, so you have to be very careful on how you handle fuel so it doesn't explode. When you go into A shred, you either get put on in the fire truck or refueler in that particular time. So if you're a fire truck mechanic, and you put on fire truck, it does not mean you're never going to be put on refueler. You will eventually when you change base or when the demand for you to switch position arises. For the C shreds, the C shred works on payloader, like I explained. They also work on forklifts, also work on anything that has a lot of hydraulics in it. That's what their specialties are in. Hydraulic operation, not hydraulic hose, like you spitting out water like in fire trucks would do. Hydraulic to lift components of the vehicle up and down and whatnot. That's generally the vehicle that they tend to work on. With general mechanics, my shred, we work in what we call the main shop. That's where all the chief and the office, like all the political office would be for VM. We're the main mechanics, and we work on Humvees, we work on, like I said, MRAPs, we work on, a snow broom, snow plow. We also work on de-icer. This is a big thing if you're ever in a base that have snow. They take away the snow and ice from the aircraft, and they would de-ice first. So they would put in this hot yellowish fluid called de-icing fluid. And it would melt all the snow, it would melt all the ice, and then afterwards they would put on anti-icing fluid. It's pretty much similar to antifreeze, where they would spray the whole aircraft with it so that nothing would freeze on it. The main shop, which is the general mechanic, they also get broken down into different sub-shop, and it depends on many bases. So I've been to McGuire Air Force Base, and I also been to Osan Air Force Base and Kunsan Air Force Base in Korea. But the main breakdown is that you have the customer service, CSC, quick return. So you're gonna get a car in or a vehicle in, and then if they can't fix it in 2 hours, then they'll just send it to the other shop, in the main shop. So they'll try to fix everything in 2 hours. They'll do mobile calls. So if there's a car that's broken down on the flight line or on the road somewhere, they would have this mobile truck that they would jump into, and they would get it operational enough to bring it to the shop, or if it's small enough, like let's say the battery died, they might jump it and stuff like that. The general purpose shop, or the main shop in some places, the main shop. So general purpose works on bobtail and Humvees. I know I haven't talked about bobtail. It's just smaller vehicles. They're not as big as the snow broom or de-icer. So they're smaller vehicles that can fit into your house garage. You just think of it that way. Bobtail is what used to pull luggage. It's a Ford F-150, Ford F-250 or 350 to haul luggage, and sometimes in some cases you can use it to pull aircrafts. SP, special purpose, or in some places they would call it seasonal. So for this particular sub shop, You would have things like snow broom. Just think of like very very big vehicles. That's what SP would work on. But then you have other subcategory in the shop. You have FMNA, which if you're a mechanic, you're not going to work on. FMNA is the Office of Processing and Releasing Vehicle. They do all the pencil pushing. And then you have MatCon. MatCon is, if you're a mechanic, you might work on. I have worked at MatCon for around 6 to 7 months. They do parts ordering. In some cases, they might do part research. It depends on the base. What would I recommend to people coming in? It depends. It really depends on what you want to do with the shred. The shred, I would say though, like if you're in main shop and you're in my shred, which is general purpose shred, you're gonna have to deal with a lot more politics. So you're gonna have a lot of people breathing down your neck a little bit more because all of the office there, all the flight sheave is there. You're gonna have to be cleaning the shop a lot because a lot of higher ups are there, and then you're gonna have to deal with a lot of toxicity. Your supervisor are being supervised, and your supervisor are being supervised, and everyone is there. So but if you enjoy that kind of work, if you enjoy the vehicle I described to you is interesting, then go for it. Don't let me discourage you. The C shred, you're in a different outlining shop, so you don't need to deal with a lot of politics. It's usually a little more relaxed environment, but you have the same schedule. You have the same, you're gonna get a vehicle. It's the same kind of day. The same kind of day. You might not clean as much because of the politics. The A shred depends on where you are. If you're in refueler, you might be working a little bit more than if you're in fire truck. Okay, so they'll have two shops close to each other, or they'll be in the same sub shop. So if you're in fire truck, that's where to be if you want to live luxuriously. You're gonna have a gym inside your shop, and it belongs to the firefighters. The firefighter have to keep up their physical endurance and stuff to be able to rescue people. So there's a special gym right in the shop for them, but you can use it too. Okay, and if you can use it during break time, or you can use it when there's really no vehicle to work on, or if it's during lunch break or whatever. So you don't need to go share the main gym with everyone else. With the refueler, it's in usually outlining shop in the middle of the flight lines. No one's gonna bother you. It's usually just be you and the supervisor or whatever civilian working there, and usually it's pretty relaxed. But then you need to make sure that you're keeping up with the work, right? Because if they're gonna put you in refueling shop, they're putting a lot of trust in you to be able to manage yourself. I'm still in the United States Air Force and VM. I'm in the reserve, and if you want to know more about VM in the reserve, it's a whole different ballgame, and I can make a different video. If you comment below if you want that video. And what are some of the benefits in the United States Air Force? There's quite a bit actually, and this is all Air Force. It's not just VM. You have your healthcare paid for. This is active duty. Healthcare paid for. You have your living expenses paid for. At first you're going to be living in the dorms, and once you get out of the dorms, they either give you a stipend to go find a place, or they'll give you a house on base. And the house on base are actually really, really nice. Usually it comes with a 1-car garage, 3-bedroom. You have daycare services, and generally, like, if anything goes wrong with your family, or if you need to take time for an emergency, your employer is not gonna, or your supervisor, usually they're not gonna hold it against you. And if they do hold it against you, just go to the first shirt, and the first shirt should strain them out. This is something that you can't get in a civilian world. Why would you pick VM? If you like working with your hands, it's not even just that. It's also a skill set that is very in demand in the civilian world. Nowadays, you have a lot of people graduating from college, and their degree is not very in demand, and you have this oversaturation of people with bachelor's degree, and they just cannot find a job. CCAF, Community College of the Air Force, and it is an associate degree you can do for VM. Now, the different AFSC will have different level. So I know linguistics, they have a bachelor degree in linguistics. For us VM, we can get an associate degree in vehicle maintenance, which will set us apart if we would like to leave the Air Force one day and go work in the civilian world. The type of skills you're going to pick up in VM is very, very valuable. You can work in any dealership, you can work in any mechanic shop, and you can also work on your own vehicle, so you don't need to spend so much money fixing your own vehicle. I use this thing called TA, it's tuition assistance. Tuition assistance is what you use while you're serving, and they pay for 100% of part-time courses that you're taking. So I was pursuing my VM degree, of course it's the EF degree, and then I was also pursuing a physics degree. They will pay 100% and you're going to take one class at a time. Right now I'm using my GI Bill. I'm pursuing a bachelor in physics, so you also get that. So TA doesn't touch GI Bill. That's two separate animals. Okay, so TA is when you're serving, and GI Bill is after you left. If you want me to talk a little bit more about TA and GI, comment below a video talking about that, and even like the how to go around about getting a TA and how to navigate the education system, because it can be a little bit confusing, and especially it was very confusing for me when I first joined. Do I have tips for people joining? A lot of people, when they join, they'll make a decision right away, like, this United States military is so toxic, this shop is toxic, so I don't want to re-enlist anymore. And usually that will happen their first year in their first shop. Okay, and the thing to remember with any shop in the United States Air Force and anywhere when you're working civilian or anywhere, is that when you first come in and you're really low ranking, right, you're going to be put down a little bit. Okay, you can't get away with the same amount of things that people who are a little higher ranked than you can get away with. So if you have an airman first class, people might be glued to you a little bit more. They might be looking at every single one of your actions, and things that you might do might get you in trouble, that might not get other people in trouble. Okay, this is just part of the game. Once you go up in the rank to senior airman, people are going to treat you with a little bit more respect, and once you get to staff sergeant, they're not going to be on you as much. And if you make like a small mistake here and there, or if you, let's say, like, take a little bit more time to go to lunch, they might not freak out as much. The other way also happens. So as you go up in rank, let's say you become an NCO, which is a staff sergeant, you also have to be accountable to other people below you. So you might get yelled at, not just for yourself, but you might get yelled at for the individual that's under you. If you have any more questions, I'm sure I forgot to mention a few other things, and I'm trying to make this video short. I think it's gone on quite a bit actually. So just comment below, okay? Comment below and I can make another video to address any things. If you guys want to have like a personal discussion, like, hey, let's do a Zoom meeting, or let's do Skype call, and I'll be happy to talk to you guys about any questions you have. Just comment below, like the video so that this video can get passed around. I'm not making any profit of this video. There's going to be no ads. Getting more people is not going to benefit me. It's going to benefit other people. Alright, if you have any question, comment, and bye.